You ever get the feeling you're living in a bizarre Netflix satire where everyone's lost their minds and you just quietly built a functioning life instead? Welcome to the Parallel Society. We homeschool our kids, we have religious communities, we have our friends, our restaurants, our media, all part of an ecosystem mostly segregated from the wild antics of the left. This wasn't intentional for most of us. I certainly didn't set out to isolate myself. It just happened naturally. I drifted away from mainstream society, not because I wanted to be a better conservative, but because I was simply tired of their nonsense. They have their pride marches. We've got common sense and the confidence to leave the circus early. We don't want to celebrate white people crying in the streets over their rights like they're auditioning for a Hallmark movie directed by Karl Marx. They have their woke movies. We read books, ones with real plots, actual heroes, and zero apologies. They have Drag Queen Story Hour. We've got Plutarch, and our kids are reading aloud from lives like we're prepping them for Spartan greatness, not TikTok virality. They obsess over their identity. We focus on our responsibilities. They host panel discussions on microaggressions. We host book clubs and have meaningful conversations with people who've read more than their social media feeds. They fly rainbow flags on government buildings. We raise the stars and stripes, not because it's trendy, but because we actually believe in what it stands for. They turned classrooms into therapy sessions. We turned kitchen tables into schoolhouses, and our kids didn't miss a beat. They spend weekends shouting in the streets. We spend hours building lives, quietly, intentionally, and with purpose. Kids apologizing for being white in schools didn't really affect my family because we homeschooled. I didn't deal with DEI in the office because I have my own business. Even in my community, I go to church, but otherwise I'm isolated. I mostly interact with immigrants, surrounded by Haitians and Mexicans. So I don't have to deal with leftist ideologues harassing me or telling me to be something that I'm not. At first, I thought this quiet separation was just me, some lone homeschooler who swapped curriculum packets for Plutarch and book clubs. But the more I looked around at church and the checkout line and online forums that don't require trigger warnings, the more I saw it. People just like me. People who backed away from the parade of rainbow flag emojis and tear-streaked Instagram activism, not out of rebellion, but out of exhaustion. Turns out we weren't isolating, we were upgrading. It's not exile, it's an escape room we actually solved. The institutions we once trusted are about as reliable as a GPS made by the DMV, except at least the DMV pretends to give you a destination. These places will drop you in a cornfield and still charge you tuition, taxes, and your soul. The schools think 3 plus 3 is racism. The media tried to convince me I'm a white supremacist. And half of corporate America seems more focused on pride merch than profits. The left captured these institutions and ran them into the ground like a gluten-free souffle in a thunderstorm. Excellence was replaced with ideology. Truth swapped out for buzzwords. Tradition rebranded as trauma. And we're done asking for permission to opt out. This isn't just about politics, it's about protecting our families from a cultural system that thinks men can get pregnant, but books are dangerous. Why send our kids to schools that teach them their gender is a costume and their ancestors were villains? Why shop from brands that think our faith is hate speech? Why support a system that thinks masculinity is a microaggression but twerking for toddlers is educational? So we walked, but more importantly, we built. We built classical schools and homeschooling co-ops. As of 2024, 3.7 million students in the US are being homeschooled, 6.7% of all school-age children. Between 2019 and 2023, 264 new classical schools were launched, and this is not a fringe movement, it's a renaissance. We rediscovered the trivium and quadrivium, grammar, logic, rhetoric, arithmetic, music, astronomy, basically everything missing from a modern college syllabus. It's as if we collectively realized that Cicero and Marcus Aurelius had more insight into raising decent human beings than the entire UCLA Gender Studies department. We built media platforms that tell the truth even when it's not trending. From Daily Wire to independents, Substack writers to YouTube creators with webcams and a backbone. They're breaking the monopoly on information faster than CNN loses viewers after breakfast. We launched businesses that reflect our values, some small, some national, all rooted in faith, family, and common sense, like Public SQ, a marketplace for people who reject woke capitalism. We're not selling safe spaces, we're building strong communities, not therapy circles with gluten-free hugs and trigger warnings for eye contact. This isn't a rebellion, we're beyond that. Why fight the girl with the beard and its husky wife when I can just walk past them? They're unimportant in our world, have nothing to contribute, and simply don't matter to our existence. In the 1960s, counterculture meant LSD and tie-dye. Now it's Latin, raw milk, and raising chickens. Our counterculture wears Carhartt, not crop tops. We're out here quoting Cicero and grilling with Aristotle, while the other side tries to cancel Shakespeare for writing sonnets that don't go through a sensitivity reader. Really. They're busy curating trauma hashtags. We're curating our backyard libraries. Homeschooling is skyrocketing. Classical charter schools have wait lists longer than gender studies jobs prospects. New platforms are arising, while the old ones are too busy updating their community guidelines to notice they're being left behind. The left won the culture war, and now they're marching in circles, wondering why no one wants to binge watch a Netflix cartoon featuring a non-binary bison raised by polyamorous owls fighting climate change with jazz hands. They've become what they claim to fight: out of touch, authoritarian, and addicted to approval. Things are shifting. Harvard is eating itself in public like a consumed Ivy League Ouroboros choking on its own gender-neutral latte. It's part faculty revolt, part TikTok meltdown, and all theater, just without the popcorn or the plot. Base names are being restored. ESG is going the way of New Coke. This isn't the end, it's the beginning. Not of reform, but of replacement. We're building something so stable, so appealing, so unflinchingly normal, that their clown car of chaos won't even be worth egging. We're planting roots while they're painting sidewalks. And the real revolution, it's happening in homes, gardens, churches, and living rooms all across America. Quietly, steadily, confidently. Maybe you're homeschooling. Maybe you started a business. Maybe you just stopped watching your late night TV and started reading real history. Good. Keep going. You're not alone. You are the parallel society. No more playing defense, no more asking to sit at their table. We're building our own. One house, one book, one kid, one coffee shop at a time.